Flavoring a supplement is technically straightforward. You add sweeteners, acids, and flavor compounds, the same categories used in food manufacturing, and the resulting product tastes of cherry, watermelon, or tropical fruit rather than of the active ingredient. The active ingredient itself disappears behind the flavor system. This is useful for palatability. It is also useful for concealing a quality problem that would be immediately apparent without it. Pure creatine monohydrate at high purity has no discernible flavor when dissolved in water. The molecule is essentially tasteless. Any bitterness, sharpness, or chemical aftertaste in an unflavored creatine product is evidence of impurity, synthesis byproducts, excess mineral content, or other manufacturing residues that contribute off flavors. In a flavored product, these same contaminants are present but masked. The supplement industry's pricing incentive runs in the direction of flavored products. A flavored creatine product commands a price premium over unflavored powder. A significant portion of the consumer market prefers a flavored product to plain powder. Manufacturers serving this preference have a commercial reason to use the flavoring budget on taste rather than on high-quality raw material, especially when the lower-quality raw material cannot be detected by taste once flavoring is applied. This is not universal. Many flavored creatine products use high-purity raw materials. Some are CreaPure certified. The presence of flavoring is not evidence of inferior raw material. It is the absence of transparency that creates the concern. A flavored product from a brand that publishes its certificate of analysis, discloses its creatine source, and maintains third-party testing for the creatine-containing batches is as trustworthy as the equivalent unflavored product. The problem is structural opacity. In a flavored product, you cannot taste the raw material quality. You must rely entirely on documentary evidence, COAs, certification logos, supply chain disclosures, rather than having any sensory check available. The brands that are comfortable with this opacity are not necessarily the brands with the highest raw material standards. Third-party testing organizations have found that when they purchase and test flavored creatine products, some contain significantly less creatine than labeled. Others contain contaminants above what would be expected from high-quality monohydrate, and some contain incorrect ingredient profiles. The flavoring system does not cause these problems. It does not react with or degrade creatine meaningfully, but it correlates with a level of formulation opacity that enables lower-quality raw materials to pass through undetected to the consumer. For consumers who prefer flavored creatine, the practical recommendation is to apply the same documentation standard as for unflavored products and to be willing to pay for brands that maintain that standard. The alternative is accepting that your flavored creatine product may be using its flavor budget more efficiently than its raw material budget. In a category as well evidenced and price competitive as creatine, that trade-off is not necessary. Certified, well-documented monohydrate at competitive prices is available in both flavored and unflavored formats from brands that maintain transparent quality standards. If you are uncertain whether your current flavored creatine product is using high-quality raw material, the first step is to find the COA. Request it from the brand directly if it is not published on their website. Ask specifically for the creatine monohydrate raw material COA, not just the finished product certificate. If they cannot or will not provide it, that information is itself a signal worth weighing in your purchasing decision. The economics of flavored products also affect how brands think about their raw material budget. A flavored creatine at $10 per month faces a cost structure that includes flavoring compounds, additional quality control for the flavor system, and the overhead of product development. If the total manufacturing cost must remain below a certain threshold to maintain margin at that retail price, something gives. And the raw material specification is more vulnerable than the flavor system because consumers can taste the flavor but cannot directly perceive creatine purity. The question to ask of any flavored creatine brand is not whether the flavor is good, but whether the documentation supports the raw material quality. Both things can be true: excellent flavor and high purity monohydrate. Or only one can be true: The flavor experience tells you nothing about which situation you are in. Only the COA, the certification logo, or the named ingredient source can provide that assurance. And the brand's willingness to provide it is itself a meaningful quality signal.